So, I changed my mind about voting. And before I tell you who I'm going to vote for, I feel I need to justify it. I feel I need to justify myself somewhat. Now, I know the United States is fucked. I know Western civilization is fucked. If you believe otherwise, then, well, I envy your naivete. But I know there's nothing I can do to save it. And I know voting doesn't really fix anything. But here's the thing. I think what I should do is leave the mess for my children to clean up. Maybe, just maybe, I can delay things until I become an old man. Maybe. And well, at this point, it's worth a shot. I think I'm going to vote for Mitt Romney. Now hear me out here. Hear me out. Okay? Mitt Romney is a goddamn idiot. But most of Mitt Romney's tyrannical positions would mostly fall under the category of minor annoyance, whereas Obama and Obamacare pose direct threats to the way I want to live my life. Take gay marriage, for instance. As for where I stand with the LGBT community, I'm part of it. Swing both ways, man. Ask asymmetrical warfare, he'll tell you. Yeah. But I am against the legalization of gay marriage. How can you justify that, people might say? Well, I'm also against straight marriage. Allow me to explain. Not too long after I proposed to my fiancée, my future mother-in-law asked me a few questions, and one of them was, what is your conception of marriage? I thought about that for a good long while. That's kind of a heady question. And the definition of marriage that I came up with was a social and religious contract in which two people swear troth for the good and stability of themselves and their folk. Now, in considering the issue of gay marriage, I ask myself, what do I mean by social? And what do I mean by folk? Well, in terms of religion, I am a heathen, which means I which means I follow a reconstructed religion of the pre-Christian Germanic peoples, my direct blood ancestors. Specifically, I'm Ferencivu, which is Anglo-Saxon, instead of Asatru, which is Icelandic. And heathenry is often defined as not so much a religion as an ethno-cultural folk way. And what that means is, it's a way of life. It's deeply ingrained in the way you act and the way you think. The two can't really be separated. So when I say social, in the sense of a social contract, and I say folk, I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about my clan. That is, my friends, my immediate family, and the other heathens that I bloat with. That is what I mean by social. That is what I mean by folk, not America. I consider these to be completely separate entities, and I consider my loyalty to the folk to supersede my loyalty to America. And if you disagree with that, then your values are all messed up. So, marriage. In this sense, marriage should not be the domain of the government at all. This is between me and my family, and my fiancée and her family. It is none of the government's goddamn business. Now, without having a marriage license, and without being recognized as a married couple by the government, two people of any gender, of any kind of relation, can enter into a legal contract which is, for all intents and purposes, socially and financially speaking, the same as marriage. So hence, if me getting married is none of the government's business, if I don't even need the government's permission to enter into a contract with another person, which would be financially the same as marriage, and in fact, if it is viewed as a marriage by my community, the folk, then it doesn't really matter whether the government considers us married or not, because fuck what the government thinks. And that is how I can justify being bisexual and being against gay marriage. Being also against straight marriage. Because why the fuck, given that definition of marriage, should it be the government's domain in any case? And that's all I got.